Today we're to make the exhaust as loud as the paint on this 2021 Mustang GT by installing a new active exhaust system from Borla. The exhaust we're going to go with is the active Borla ATAK. Now ATAK stands for Acoustically Tuned Applied Kinetics. What does that mean? Basically the muffler is going to operate like a straight through muffler, but you're not going to get any drone. So basically maximum volume without that drone on the highway. For the whole system, 304 stainless steel front to back, 3-inch piping, all mandrel bends, and then again the ATAK mufflers with a set of 4-inch black chrome tips. Again, this will be direct replacement for the factory active system on your 2018 through 2021 Mustang GT Fastback. Like I said, direct replacement for the factory active. It has the flapper just like the factory, and what you'll do is take the motors off the factory system and move them over to our Borla. First step, obviously, remove the factory exhaust system. Now, on the active system, it's basically the exact same process, except the first thing you want to do is disconnect the motors and pull the plugs off, then you can remove the cap back. So start by popping the harness off the bracket right here. And you're going to reach on top. You see a little white tab, push that outward. Sometimes it'll stick a little bit. And then push down and disconnect the plug. Now remove the 2 bolts for the rear hangers. Pop the hangers off. All right, now move forward to the front of the resonator here. We're gonna loosen up both of these clamps, then we can remove our factory cap back. Don't remove these nuts, just get them loose. The clamps loose. Now we're basically gonna slide them back and then slide the exhaust towards the rear of the car to remove it. Now basically now you'll just slide it towards the front of the car. You ready? Lower it down a little bit. And put it aside. All right, now we're gonna remove the motors from our factory exhaust. Next, we're going to remove the factory hangers. And then finally, the factory clamps. To give insulation, put the factory clamps back into place. All right, now we can install the Borla X pipe. It has these adapters if you're using it to connect to factory mid pipes, which we are. So make sure they're on there and install a couple clamps. Put it up into place. Now we're just gonna snug these up for now. Now grab the tailpipe assemblies. Put the factory hanger on. Now we're going to put a clamp on the other side and put it up into place. And snug this clamp up as well. You want to make sure that the flange is open. Now this is the part that's really tricky with these active exhaust systems, and it's going to cause a check engine light or the valves won't work if you don't get it right. Basically, this has to ride in those 2 slots down there. So basically, once you get the motor seated, you want to make sure, again, this is sitting in that valve in those 2 slots. That will actually allow it to turn it. If it's not seated properly, the active exhaust won't work and you'll take it back off again. And again, you want to make sure the Borla valve is all the way open. That'll get you closest. Then once you have both sides lined up, reinstall the original hardware. On the inside nut, don't forget to install the bracket for the harness. Just makes it easier to tie the harness out of the way. Now we'll put the muffler assembly in place. I'm gonna grab a clamp. I'll start by putting it in the rear hanger. Then connect to the mid pipe. Muffler in place, snug up the clamp. I'm gonna reinstall a bolt for the hanger. All right, I'm gonna fish the harness over. Plug the motor back in. All right, clip the harness to the factory location and repeat the process on the other side. Once you have everything fitted, we're gonna go back through and tighten everything up. All right, you guys saw the installation. Now let's hear how it sounds. We're gonna start off in the regular mode, which has the valve closed. Now we'll do the sport mode, which has the valve partially open. And now the race track mode, which has the valve all the way open. No matter how you use it, there's no doubt the Borla ATAKs are definitely a loud muffler. But when you go into the normal mode, they're perfectly livable, and even in the sport mode or the track mode when they're completely wide open, they're loud, but you still don't get that drone on the highway, and the tone is excellent. Now the installation on this, it's a little more time consuming because of the motors for the active system, so I'd say give yourself about 3 hours or so, you'll be back on the road in no time.